Greetings. Thanks for joining us. Okay. So we had an event happen today. Um, Actually, I caught it when it first broke. Happened in Texas. It's a school shooting, and just right when I saw the first headline of that, it felt like a Sandy Hook energy. And sure enough, I think this is like worse than Sandy Hook. So I'm not going to go into that detail. Say it's this and that, and pulling Alex Jones and everyone's actors and all. I'm not doing any of that. But it is it obviously going to ride this train for a long time. Of course, it's tragic what happened, but there's also a lot of manipulation that caused it. I was looking at military bases if there's anything close by. There really wasn't a whole lot close by. I'll go into that some other day. But either way, it's definitely a manipulation of some kind, of course. It's demonic energies driving the kid crazy. At least that's the vibe I'm getting from it. Of course, the media is running like this, like it's, look at our ratings. Look at this. We're giving you the news, and it's so dark, man. Either way, well, at least this month has not felt right. And for those that predict the future and all of that, I don't know why we want to predict something like that. I didn't see anything like that. I don't want to see stuff like that. Yeah, so, and it happened on a Tuesday. Everything happens on a Tuesday for some reason. Not everything, but yeah. I wasn't even looking at the future of this week or anything like that. I was connected to Saudi Arabia. I kept feeling Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia has had something recently. It's not huge, but it was something is going on over there. Not in a bad way. As America becomes a third world country. I was going to do something about the economy. Well, I was going to put that in the title. The economy is just, they're just messing with it. They're just freaking people out. They're just scaring people. That's all. They want to make you feel like, if something's going to happen, either it would happen or they won't talk about it, and we'll just have a economy fallout. Out of nowhere. But they'll just keep talking. They're just manipulating the markets. There might be, it's going to go up and down. There'll be some downturns, of course, but it won't be like that. Either way, we're on this chaos timeline. I mean, it just never ends, does it? It's this happening, it's that happening. It's like they're shaking the tree for people to awaken from their slumber. I'm not sure if anything's going to work, actually. In the ninth dimensional future humans, basically the same ones that channeled yesterday, the God frequencies. I'm just going to go back to their energy and get the point of view from them. Saudi Arabia, I'm not going to go too deep into that unless there's something to go into, but I'll show some recent developments there, which is kind of interesting. I feel like they're getting more of a peace treaty there, peaceful. It's slowly happening there. Not that anybody here cares, but that's a good thing. I know people are big on the whole, the underground bases and all of that. All the white hats are winning, and you have no evidence on our side. That sounds like a good fairy tale, though. That's seriously that. I mean, unless we see some evidence, which we never will. I mean, it sounds like fun, but I doubt that's happening. Especially what happened today. That terrible tragedy happened, but the good guys are still winning. So where the hell do you see that happening? Maybe in 10 years, those are delusional, and the delusional spell will awaken and turn into a butterfly, and maybe see things a little bit more clearly, or maybe not. Some can spend their whole lives just living in some kind of reality. Another thing, so I'm having, I guess, buffer issues has been happening with my stuff recently. I think YouTube's having an issue, actually. I mean, yeah, they might be like, pointing to, I'm not exactly a favorite on their platform, so I'm shadow banned on all levels. But I can definitely see them, putting all that buffering on my channel. But I think it'll clear up. Maybe. Maybe. So, okay, is that time to come? Private sessions. We have the schedule. We have a shop here. We have whatever day it is. I'm in. I just got. I don't know what day I'm on. I think I'm on the 10th and 11th for some people. Same situation here. We have social a webinar. It's tomorrow, I think. Social networking behind the scenes. Yeah, there has been some. Obviously, the media is not talking about anything. Of course, it's so gross. I don't know what's going on with the media. It's just, I know, but it's just, man, are they all going to go to hell? Probably. So this is what happened recently with negotiation to deal with Saudis, Israel, in Egypt. Basically, they're opening up this. They're just making, it's for exports, imports. They're making things easier there. I don't know the whole story. Not many are actually talking about it because nobody really knows about it. But either way, they're becoming more friendlier with each other. Let's put it that way, which is good. I guess this has been closed off like any of us would know. I don't know the whole story on it and really read through it too deeply. But anyway, it's a big deal. And also Iran, they're trying to get a little bit nicer there, which is good too. Now, why are they getting nicer? I have no idea. I mean, they're making all this money off the oil, waiting for $10 oil, $10 gallon oil, and maybe that's what made them become nicer. I don't know what the story is on all that, but either way, we're definitely on a chaos timeline without going into details of all that. But yeah, it's pretty. And what happened today happened by the border of Mexico, or I think by the Texas border. It wasn't that close, but it was pretty close. It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's I think it's an hour away from San Antonio. It's in the middle of nowhere. So. Yeah. So I just feel like a lot of demonic energies are there. Lovely. There's probably more to it than that, but either way, we're not going. I'm just going to make documentaries about all this. I'll have all these conspiracy theories and so on. Just hooray. At least the white hats are winning, wherever that is. Just putting out fairy tales. Okay, so connected to ninth dimensional energies. And I'm not sure what connected to Syrian frequencies and go on from there. So, but yeah, we're definitely on. And the alien energies, we are. Well, for alien contact, it depends on your own frequency, not just for you're just feeling aliens around and you can't, you can feel them, but actual contact when they, where they can materialize. That sounds like a weird word, but when they can actually appear to you in some form or another. I feel like we're going to some level of that for some people. Of course, that might be another tale for the ages, but I feel like there's, as we get more chaotic, alien influence can increase. Of course, you never know, but like I said, that's on an individual level of contact. Depends on, you go with the flow. You don't worry about if you need to contact. Is it your have a purpose? Do they need to? Usually, they show up to tell you something. It's not just just appear and just say hi and that's it. You usually have some reason behind it to get you to go into a certain direction. That's why I put UFO disclosure in the title, because that's what they want to talk about. So when they told me that like 3 years ago, something like that, was quite a long time ago. So it's just it's a rough ride on our part. So Okay, all right, we're going to ninth dimensional energies. Obviously, some people with the ninth dimension, they feel that's the dark side, light side. So they're kind of like a snarky dimension. No, it depends on. Some here are just really sensitive and just there's no other layers to that. I mean, you can't be real to some people. They're in, some are in like an ultra positive, psychedelic, even like they're just you got to come down to earth eventually. Some are going to do that. You can get too positive. Let's put it that way. So, but either way. All right. Yeah, something to do with like they feel like they need to be really positive, like so they can get to heaven or something like that. But they're not always very positive. They just say they are, but not really. Whatever. It's just you can lie to yourself. Happens all the time. So yeah, that's why some of us incarnate to cut through all that nonsense. So all right. Our blessings. We just get basically a ninth dimensional future human, point of view of what's happening right now, and maybe some of the Saudi energies and whatever else I like to go into. So, all right, blessings. Greetings to you. Yes, we have the ninth dimensional beings. If you want to use that title for us, at least for you, so better understand us. We're not giving you a fancy title or any of that kind. We don't really have titles, labels, or any of that sort. But we are, well, it's not that important. So for your current situation, obviously it's a test. A test on your plan. All this chaos, all these are tests. Just like you're in a school and the teacher is just throwing off like here's a surprise quiz. Look at it that way. It's just basically to see how you react, and you can react any way you want. There's not necessarily a wrong way of getting through all of this. This planet is not necessarily you judge yourselves, but no one's really judging you. Yes, there are beings that throw all kinds of nonsense to you and see what you do, see how you react. And when you start reacting and you start, okay, I don't need to play these games anymore, you get more attention from us, the beings, meaning that you're not judging others, you're just feeling more, yes, you go with the flow of reality, but you basically you grow up within yourself. Let's put it that way. You mature more and you just become more self-aware at a higher level. And not to say it won't be tested, but you have a better idea of where these tests are coming from, draconian, whatever. A lot of it's coming from your government currently. Obviously, they have nothing better to do. Well, that's what they're there for, to cause you trouble. Well, some are obviously, when you're incarnate human, you feel a lot of the pain, of course, the karma that comes with it. And once you get through a lot of that pain, you can see around it, see more clearly, like the NSAs and all of these government agencies, and all are basically alien implants, basically. Where you can just see around all of this. So what's happening today at the school, yes, is a tragic frequency, but you send your love to it, but you also see how others react to it and what kind of agendas are being created, especially through your media. Your media likes noise. So it's going to create a story out of anybody they can. You believe in this, you don't believe in it, conspiracy theories, whatever it is, they make bank on all of this. So just remember that. You have executives, they just build off of negativity. There's a There's different beings connected to it, but there is a draconian energy there. There's all kind. Yeah, they don't always want to reveal all the beings that are connected to something like that. But it's basically a tower of manipulation. Same thing to do with your government, but of course your government mostly runs underground. So your media is top ground. Your government, your shadow government, is below ground shadow, obviously, for obvious reasons. But it doesn't mean the shadows cannot be revealed. And they kind of are today. And every day, actually. There are days they do take days off. Your holidays, sometimes they take a version of a day off. Sometimes it depends on the situation. But it's up to humanity to not want to go through this anymore. Obviously, men are going through the pain of their timeline, the pain of their karma, but you can also, as a collective, speed that up, meaning that you don't have to go through the pain as long as it was intended to. So that's why many of you come here, so you don't have to, the length of the pain of this reality can be shortened greatly. Does it mean you're out of it? Yes, the white hats and all of that. Some feel like it's an easy button to get you ourselves out of that. It doesn't work that way. You yourself are moving up the levels of you. That's how it works. You might have the white hats doing whatever they're doing, but what are you doing for yourself? Are you waiting for somebody to save you or waiting for change to occur? That you're going to be waiting a long time. What are you doing within yourself? That's the most important thing. It's like you're going through the levels of you. Now, we can't describe every level for everybody here. Everyone's different. But there are chaos levels that are here to trigger people, and you don't have to let them trigger yourself anymore. You can graduate from these certain events. And yes, certain timelines and contracts are painful. And that's why you go through the process of it, but eventually you can eject it from your timeline or retire it, expire it, whatever word you. So, but the idea is to it's kind of like you move up the level over the pain that you're going through. It's like, okay, I'm going through this. I don't like what I'm going through, which many don't like what they're going through. And you kind of it's hard to describe it fully. You discover it on your own, but basically you can say you're better than this. You can, whatever words that work for you. Some people like to use those type of words, but where this doesn't have to, be part of your reality anymore. It's like someone that's peeling potatoes all the time. That gets kind of mundane. And you change your mindset, basically. Look at it that way. And that's one way of looking at it. There's other ways of looking about it. But the chaos timeline is basically those that rule your reality in the chaos realms that have been chosen, the teachers of chaos. The teachers of chaos are going to keep throwing everything they can come up with. And a lot of this is to awaken you. But for others, it shuts them down even more. As for alien disclosure, seeing beings, well, it all depends on where you are, once again, personally. Because we do see those triggers opening up more or passageways for an alien, connection for those that, but you have to be at our level. Not that we are, not to be ego about it, but at a level where you don't let this chaos realm bother you so much. Yes, there might be things you don't like going through. That's quite understood. But once again, you're part of a contract or several contracts. We can't interfere. Even if we do show ourselves, we can't always do that. We have to stay out of it. We were around, we watch it, we monitor it the best we can. Hopefully stay alive. Hopefully you can handle it all. Yes, it's like being on a roller coaster at night. You can't see everything. It's like it's being on a roller coaster in the dark. That's pretty much what your incarnation is. You're on this contract that you can't see. Well, you can kind of see it. Your feet are on the ground. You know where you are in some regard, but you don't know where you're going. So, but once you get to a certain level of your contract and you are, at a better place, that's where disclosure occurs. So people feel bad. It's like, we're going to take it to another planet and all that. It's like, far from that. The idea is to heal your earth through you, through each other, through your collective. Not is yes, easier said than done. Of course, if you're starting to feel better, obviously somebody in your life will show up and say, and be, doomsday. Bring lower your frequency. Oh, this is happening to me. That's happening to me. All these things are happening to me. But that's a test for you if you want to give into that timeline, or just to, yeah, that's fine. I'm here to help heal that frequency, but I'm not here to be a part of it. Because some just are, some are going through a great amount of pain. They just can't seem to release. And then excuses. And yes, there's a lot of contracts are not always going to make themselves clear of why you're in this situation. The Saudi situation, some parts of the Arab world is healing, as U.S. Well, the U.S. is still healing from itself. It's going through a lot of karma of those that are here. So many of you came from Europe, from previous incarnations, to deal with your problems here. Yes, there's an alien, an alien chemical warfare going on here too. And you'd be surprised how many worlds that are alien connected have that. It's part of the awakening, you can say. It's like first you poison the humans, and eventually they realize they're being poisoned, and and people are slowly repairing. Actually, people are becoming more healthy than they've had in quite a long time. Obviously, there's still a lot of people that are not healthy, and they're not always meant to be healthy. There are contracts with that also. Without going into all details of everything, not everybody has to look the same either. I mean, just because you're not, health. I mean, you're healthy to a certain level, but you don't have to be all the same body types. It's not what you came here for. As nice that would be, that can get bland, boring, and your world is already having a hard enough time to keep itself interesting, at least for some of you. If everybody looked the same and everybody was skinny or everybody was not skinny, either way, it become very difficult. So it has some diversity. Obviously, it has a lot of diversity with your DNA, with your religions. It is a diverse planet, maybe too diverse. Well, it's so diverse, it's hard to see the timelines here, at least in the past, especially in the future. It's all interwoven, but does the past matter? Well, how do you see the past, like currently, like Earth past that you feel like you need to connect to? Because a lot of it is clouded out. It is out of focus for a reason. But sometimes you might get a glimpse of it. You can't prove if it's right or not. Does it matter? Well, yes and no. It's information. Let's put it that way. It's what matters now is really what's important. Is like, are you surviving your timeline? Or the better word is, are you warning from your timeline? Which someone's like, why am I warning? Well, every day is a warning. I mean, as difficult as it is, people don't want to hear that, but it's true. I mean, you survive the day, right? Surviving the day is probably not the best word to use, but you weren't, by feeling like you survived it, it's another word for you learned from it. Even if you don't know what it is. Learn from the weather, learn from getting up in the morning, do all this, just all of it. And that's the thing. Many of you go through things in life and you don't think it's a big deal. But aliens look at your world, it's like, wow, that was no big deal to that person. Didn't have any problems, no anxiety, just survived it. Like getting in a car. It's like a lot of beings would get in a car. It's like, it must be insane getting in that thing. On a highway where many people are not paying attention. And most of you are fine. So you are trusting your intuition on many different levels. Obviously, many humans don't think anything of it. Many humans that don't believe in the alien connections are getting through life just fine, well, to a certain level, and have if they can get to the higher dimensions and see all the details of everything you go through on a daily, other people are like, will freak out what you put up with on a daily basis. When you compare it to other worlds, it just amazes us that humans can even get from the morning to night without any issues. Obviously, you're going to have some kind of issues here and there, but either way, it survived the day with all of this. So, yeah, when you look at other worlds compared to this is quite the unique place. Yes, you don't really have the other worlds to really compare, but then some of you are slightly remembering to a certain level. And you don't want to remember too much from these other worlds because it makes this place more difficult. It's like because when you're here, it's like, or you're on another planet, and you look at this. Why do I need to go through all of this? What's the point? What's the what am I getting out of this again? But obviously, that was all turned off. You just get through it for reasons. It's just reasons. You get through your life to where you're at this point. It all has a reason. It's not going to be told to you. That's the point of it. It's just that you'd be surprised how amazing you can get through all of this. It's like, yes, it's like you're going through a maze and everyone's throwing stuff at you or whatever it might be. You get to work, someone yells at you for stuff that you didn't do or whatever it is. Like, geez, what is this place? The lack of love on this planet is just amazing. As some of you know, there's versions of love, but not really the accurate frequency. If there was actual love here, most of these problems would not be here on this planet. Like 90% of it will not be here. So, obviously, there's a great deal you're still learning about yourselves. Once again, the Middle East is healing like the United States is still slowly figuring itself out. And eventually, as the vibrations of many countries, not just the U.S., the U.S. is going through a lot of darkness, obviously. It's one of the darker countries. Africa is probably worse. Living conditions. If you remove all the disease and poverty from Africa, it's not that bad. But obviously, of course, you remove the warlords at the same time. It was pretty peaceful overall. People have a pretty simple life for the most part, even in the cities. They like to keep things simple. In America, it's a little bit harder to do that because you're being programmed constantly. Well, the aliens are trying to get your attention through their chemical warfares and all of this. They're trying to, wake you up in a different way. It was an agreement. Not all of you agreed upon it. Obviously, not the whole world isn't in the United States, but you all have a place where you are currently for a reason. Obviously, we can't go into the full details of all that. We are solving your mystery here. Let's put it that way. Little by little. We can't give you hints. Of course not. Well, we're not allowed to. We can't. I can not even bring it in because I'm being blocked from it currently for reasons like the future. With what is now is most important. The future, you remove the worry, you can get very far. Obviously, the world brings in the true energy of love. All this deception will vanish, but you'll see still people holding on to deception because they're warning a great deal out of it. So that's why it hasn't fully healed yet. Yes. What is this? The words of as you awaken more, you see more clearly. You might be able to see, but you're actually going to see even more. That's what's coming into your world currently.